Hello and welcome to this video. This is the fifth video on ratio, that is ratio lesson 5. And in this video, we're going to talk about the uses of ratio, the use of ratio. Because when you are doing any mathematical concept without knowing what it is being applied for in real life, it is of no relevance. So we're going to see the use of ratio in everyday life. And the first use of ratio I want to be discussing in this video is using ratio to find the corresponding value of things. Using ratio to find the corresponding value of things. And then here we are going to have some example to solve as it applies to real life. Number one, here we have number one, it says the ratio of the number of goats to the number of sheep is 3:1. If the sheep are 12, how many are the goats? So we are going to solve this together now. They say that we are comparing what? They give us the ratio of goats. So it's goats ratio sheep. And then the ratio of goat to sheep is 3:1. And if the sheep are 12, so we have been given the number of sheep, which is 12. So we are going to write 12 under the sheep pure ratio. How many are the goats? So we are now going to find the corresponding number of goats with regard to this ratio. Since the ratio is given to us and the value of one of the ratio is given to us, how do we find the number of goats? Of course, that is very, very simple. So since the goat is not known, we can put any letter here. Let us use x. So that means the value of the number of goats is not known. Now we're going to use that, find the value of x now to represent our number of goats. How do you find your value of x? You cross multiply. You start with the unknown, which is x, and do what? X times 1, put ratio. This time this is 3 times 12. This is not this ratio. X times 1 ratio 3 times 12. X times 1 give us x, and 3 times 12 give us 36. So our x is 36. That means that the number of goats is 36. So there are 36 goats corresponding to the number of sheep as given by the ratio. Now we have the second question here is saying there are 24 boys in the class. If the ratio of girls to boys in the class is 4:3, how many girls are in the class? Now we are given a ratio of girls to boys. So that means we are going to have girls to boys. And the ratio is given as 4:3. Now, obviously, the first ratio is for the girls, and the second ratio represents the boys. So here we are going to have we are finding how many girls are in the class. And initially, we have been given the number of boys, so that there are 24 boys. So since the boys are 24, we'll put our 24 here. 24 is the number of boys. And then we are finding the number of girls. So we can put y here, unknown. So how do you find the number of girls now? Let's multiply this. This is going to give us y times 3 ratio 4 times 24. Though we're going to do that, it's going to give us 3 y times 3 is going to give us 3y ratio 4 times 24 is going to give us 4 times 4 is 16. Take 1, then 4 times 2 is 8 plus the 1 you carry 9. So that gives us 96. How do you get y now? Divide by what? By the coefficient of y, which is 3. Divide here by 3 and divide here by 3. So 3 will now cancel 3. Then we're not left with y here. Then how do we divide? 96 divided by 3. 3 into 3 is 1. 3 into 9 is 3. And 3 into 6 is 2. So we have 32. So the number of girls in the class is actually 32. So in that class is composed of 24 boys and 32 girls. We also have one more question to do on this topic. And number 3 here is saying that an amount of money was shared between two friends in the ratio 2:5. If the smaller share is $120, what is the bigger share? So an amount of money was shared between two friends, and it was shared in the ratio. So we have a smaller share, we have a smaller share ratio the bigger share. Good. Now the ratio is the smaller share carries the smaller this, that is 2 is the smaller share and 5 is the bigger share. Now they told us that if the smaller share is $120, that means that this smaller share now, so we have $120 at the smaller share. Then what is the bigger share? So the bigger share is what we are actually finding here, which is let us use M for our bigger share. How do we go about that now to find our M? Is cost multiply this expression. So we are going to start with 2 multiplied by M. That is 2 times M ratio $120 multiplied by 5. So you start by 2 times M is giving us 2M ratio $120 times 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 2 is 10. Take 1. 5 times 1 is 6 plus 1. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. So we have $600. How do you get your M now? You divide both sides by the coefficient of M, which is 2. Divide here by 2 and divide here by 2. So 2 cancel 2. So we are left with M. M becomes, now that means we are having $600 divided by 2. 2 here 1. 2 into 6 is 3. So we are having a $300 as the value of M. And of course, M represents the bigger share. So so while the smaller share is $120, the bigger share is $300. Thanks for watching this video. The next video is on the second use of ratio, which is using ratio for sharing. Join us in that video, which is from our lesson 6. And then as you do so, also try to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for further video. Thank you.